Hello, and here we are to run you through a mind map of neuronal communication, which is a part of Module 2, Building Blocks of the Mind. Neural communication is the process by which neurons or nerve cells transmit information to each other. This process is fundamental to how our nervous system functions. The process begins at the dendrite, which is a branch-like extension of a neuron that retrieves signals from other neurons. These signals can be electrical or chemical in nature. The signal then travels to the soma, also known as the cell body. The soma contains the nucleus and is where the neuron processes the incoming signals. If the combined signals reach a certain threshold, an action potential is generated. An action potential is a brief electrical impulse that serves as the basic unit of communication in neurons. The action potential travels along the axon, which is a long, thin extension of the neuron that conducts electrical impulses away from the soma. Some axons are converted into a myelin sheath, which insulates the axon and allows for faster signal transmission. At the end of the axon is the axon terminal. When the action potential reaches this point, it triggers the release of neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are chemical messengers that carry signals from one neuron to another. These neuron transmitters are released into the synaptic cleft, which is a tiny gap between the axon terminal of one neuron and the dendrite of another. On the receiving side, the dendrite of the next neuron has receptors. Receptors are specialized proteins that neurotransmitters bind to, a little bit like a key fitting into a lock. When neurotransmitters bind to these receptors, they can either excite or inhibit the receiving neuron, potentially triggering or preventing a new action potential in that neuron. This process then repeats, with the next neuron potentially generating its own action potential, releasing its own neurotransmitters, and so on. This chain of communication allows complex messages to be transmitted through the nervous system. The entire process happens incredibly quickly, allowing for rapid communication through the nervous system, which is essential for our bodies to function and respond to our environment.